time to let the tyres down for the beach run. There it is. We are here, apparently, here. We're going to go along the beach, across the river, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. And along the coast, have a bit of a muck around on the dunes. St Albans Bay camp area, and there's some dunes in that here. Big dune camp area. And around here, we're going to be in Bridport at the end of the day. Bit of information there for you. If you need more than that amount of time, have a pause and have a read. There is a few different ways onto the beach here at Bellingham, and I've done it a few times, and I don't remember all the different ways we've been in and out, but this is the way we're doing it this time, because we're following one of the locals, and he's been here a few times in recent months or years, where I might have been here as many times or more, but over the last 10 or 20 years. So I've got, not bragging or anything, I've got quite a bit of experience on tracks around Australia, not just in Victoria or whatever, because that's where we generally reside. Haven't worried about any, but oh yeah, this is one of the ways we go, and this does take you out to the pig pen way. So hopefully we can get around all that pig penness. You'll see it in a moment what I'm talking about. Once we get out there anyway. Yeah, roger that. Yeah, that was a way that I've been, but yeah, different to, we've definitely been some other ways, yeah.
That's the little area we're actually going.
Alright, so we're just going to cruise up the beach. Tide seems to be, I think it's low tide right now actually. About 12 I think it was, it's about that time. A bit of rocks and shells and stuff like that on the beach, mainly rocks in this area I think it is from memory. Yeah, you could get your river pebbles there. Probably washed out of a river somewhere nearby. And don't know about that. How does rocks end up on the beach? Small rocks like those river rocks, because they're obviously not going to float. So very interesting thoughts. But anyway, quite a bit of wind out here today. Not making the beach look the best. You know how I always say, the weather can make a really average spot look good or look bad. It can make a bad spot look really good, and it can make a good spot look really bad. So yeah, when the tide's up, you can drive along the top of the beach. Is basically just enough track to have a car there, but yeah, while the water's out, you can obviously drive down a lot lower than sitting up in the soft sand and debris. And we're in high range at the moment because it seems to be pretty easy driving. Still in high range. Centre diff lock on. I did turn the traction control off in the end, but remember in the technology cars, hold the button, traction control off, because it could bog you down. And centre diff lock's always helpful to have on, I think, before you need it, if you know what I mean, like rather than putting it on, oh I'm bogged now. So yeah, and if we continue in softer sound like this, we're going to go to low range, because low range is just going to do it easier on the whole engine, keep the transmission cooler, and we've got more grunt on tap when we need it if we want to plant the foot. But just getting around this bit of headland here from memory is just the only bit that's a little bit rocky and whatever. Again, up in that soft sand, a little bit soft, bit of work, but drop down onto this stuff. But you've got to watch out, there is rocks planted, we're between some rocks now. We're just following Craig's tracks through at the moment. Watch it where the weed lies. Sometimes it can be weed buried under sand, but I've never had or known anyone that's had any issues coming through here. Apparently this weed here is really good for your garden. People come down and collect it in their garden beds. Anybody knows any truth to that? Let us know in the comments. Is the weed any good for your garden? And some people fishing maybe. Yeah, a bit of a rocky outcrop. See the wind out there. Quite breezy. I don't know if I want to get out there. I feel like I'm just going to get sand blasted. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a sand blasting kind of a day. Watch out for these rocks. See, they're hidden by the sand blasting. So sharp pointy rocks poking out of the ground type thing. we're just coming up to the river here, and I don't think it'll be a problem, but of course, as the others are, we will get out and have a looksy-tooksy. I reckon this looks like a good little spot to go through. How deep's that? Rough bit round, you go around the headland
looking
again.
to my left as we're closing along and looking at those.
So I gave the transfer case a bit of a run in low range. Felt like we weren't getting anywhere real quick, but the thing is we're not in a hurry. Bloke on the motorbike might be. There he goes, he's cruising as well. Nice beach for a ride on a bike. Anyway, I put it in high range to go, we'll cover a bit more ground, and then we come across a few soft patches here and there quite regularly, and I just felt that the engine, you know, it was just working a lot harder in high range. So, and seeing temperatures around 90 on the coolant all the time, and transition temp was on the way up. So I went, you know what, back to low range, that's what I'm doing now, about 35 k's an hour, 2,500 revs, round about, more or less. Numbers there. Second start, low range. I've selected fourth, so we're in fourth gear, low range. We're not in any hurry to get anywhere. And the coolant temp, since I've done that, hasn't changed off 85 degrees, which is what we want. Trans temp, you're not going to get talk of it a lot in low range, but currently sitting on 87 on the trans temp, which is in the perfect operating range. So we're in a bit of this softer one here again now, so this is where I'm glad I'm in low range. Coolant temp's up to 87, so it tells me it's doing a bit of work, but 87 is better than 90. And you know, all these things, they're going to add to, it's going to contribute to engine wear and tear. Nothing wrong with 90. I'm seeing 88 now already, but had to be working a lot harder if it was in high range. A lot of debris on this beach. Keep an eye for the rocks and logs. Yeah, so it's not really just your standard beach run. Going around some more headland now with some rocks and stuff. Couple of different ways around this. Go the high side or around it. I reckon the clearance to dodge the one that I thought I might hit right about there. No. Or we could have gone on the high side. Just a little bit of sand left at the top to sneak around it. Technical four-wheel driving on the beach. No, it's nothing hard at all. No bash plates needed. No special equipment required. Tyre pressure gauge should keep you out of trouble. Take a friend. Awesome max tracks. Or both. There's that weed that's good for your garden apparently. Come in with your trailer and gather it up. Garbage bags, mate. Let's see if we can do it at a more respectable pace. Just cruising, because we can always go back and have another go. There we go. Look, this looks a bit softer, but we'll find out, won't we? We might have to hit that one a bit quicker. There we go. Nice and slow. Doesn't always win, but you can go back, and we don't mind going back. Some places you've got to go quicker, or let the tyres down. When you see it goes uphill like that through the dune, you know you're going to give it a bit of bearings. What do we call that? Second time lucky. Not too quick though. We can always go quicker next time if it doesn't work. Just nicely and back it off as we get to the top, so in case there's anyone else coming.
Josh is just getting in a position to take a video of you coming around.
Roger that, we're rolling now. We just come over the first dune and we're just weaving our way through. Oh, which one's the deep one? Because you never know sometimes. Go around this side. I think they're all firm base and that's not that deep anyway, but we don't need it. Just want to quickly say, another reason if you actually use your full drive, one of those flash new ones, 100 grand, you might not like pinstripes. You have an older one like this and you get a few scratches because it is quite tight through here and you're not too worried about it. There it is, hear all that? This looks like it was a bit of a lake. Look how wet the sand is. It's like it's just sort of dried up. Yeah. And there's some marks there. People turn around coming from the direction we're headed. Is this the base of this big dune? I can't remember. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is on it. I'm going left. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we go left. We're going up left side, mate. See what happens.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah. Good deal, tell me how it goes.
Mate, in the mighty 1kd, we are nearly to the top of the dune. Nearly. Yeah, we're gripped up again now. We're up the top.
Wait, is it?
Well, that means there's a challenge, eh?
Look at that view.
A few soft patches up on top too, you know. Yeah, you got to do the view, don't you?
Dad,
Just
tell her
feel
if
it.
you,
I'm gonna go.
if you think this is all big dune, you should have come on WA trip when we went.
Alright, so we're up on the top of the sand dune. As you can see, we came from the opposite direction. You can drive down the side of this. It looks pretty scary for a lot of people, but we've done it before. There's the Hilux down over there. A couple other cars that went through. We'll call it the chicken track if you like. It's basically down along the edge of that lake or track or floodwaters down there. And other times we've been here, I've actually driven up from this side. So I just want to go for a bit of a walk and have a look and see if you can actually continue along this way. It's quite soft underfoot here, even up on top of the dune, and I wouldn't rule out being able to get bogged up on top. Let's go and have a look, eh? Looks like someone's driven here. Is this the bike maybe? Because I can only see one rut. Looks like the bike or something's come here, and I'd say that's a bike turnaround. Yeah, because it goes all scrubby, right? You could probably go down this one, but we certainly didn't drive up that one when we came up. So it's changed over the years. Many years ago that we're here, we came up that way. Bit of sand in the face.
Oh really? Is that safe?
Yeah, really. Do we start the video? Is it safe? I don't know. I'll let you know in a minute. Put your seatbelt on. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Because you know, sometimes sand can be tricky. You've really got to be careful. Crazy, huh? Them big dune there. That's how it's done. I still tell you, you got to be I'm always nervous, even though I've done it before, plenty of times like that. Always still nervous.
Sand blasts on my legs.
Let's see how we go. Back up the same tracks. don't even want to get halfway up there. That's about where we'd expect to get. Catch a phone.
Oh my god.
Where we'd expect to get to.
Phone goes
Fun and
flying
games,
down.
yeah. Everything goes flying, doesn't it?
Phone goes flying
Bit of fun. Halfway maybe. Like I said, if you like theme parks, here you don't have to wait in the queue and it's free, as many rides as you like. Can't even lean forward to yeah, this is a bit definitely different to last time I was here. Sand here's a bit soft. If we turn left, I don't think we're getting up the dune. And there's a little bit of a gap in the middle where the track sort of seems to go. And we're already on the side of the dune, so yeah, interesting one why people are doing it this way. Interesting, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep going around up over this way to the high spot if we can. Just want to get up there and have a look at this view again. You've got to be really careful, that mirage thing with these sand dunes, because you could be about to go over an edge. Right, so you always got to just take it nice and yeah, like that. That is a perfect example. So I'm going to turn and show everybody that in a sec. Stay tuned, everyone. You'll see what I mean in a sec if we don't get bogged up here. It feels like pretty soft around here. Driving around. See that right there in front of us? If you're on the other side of that, the sand's blowing this way and it just drops off. And they're pretty small drop-offs, but part of it enough to do some damage if you front landed down on that, because sand's actually pretty hard when you don't want it to be. Right, soft right about here because we're hidden in behind that mirage thing. We're really churned a bit of sand there. So we're headed in the same direction, so we've got to really keep our eyes peeled. Mitcho, you see what I mean about how it's really hard to see sort of what's in front of us? Do you know what I mean? Like if you had one of those drop-offs here, would you see it? Or would you go ponk and drop off it, you know? Because my eyes, everyone, I've got to tell you, sunny's on, sunny's off. It is just crazy. And I just want to go faster, but it's probably just me. Old eyes. Call me old eyes. What's going on with this Hilux, mate? He keeps like following us around. Actually, no, I think we're following him, aren't we? Is that the right way down? Is that the right way down, or you got another way?
I just get Josh to investigate for me because I thought it was a really steep road.
It's always worth having a look, but it's probably alright. I can't see any other main track. Probably over there. See that low area? There's some tracks over there. I don't think anyone would matter which one you went on.
I don't think so.
Actually, no, looking down there, there's one part I can see here that's going to be a drop-off, so yeah, you do have to be careful which way you go down. Man,
I have a feeling the track down is just to my right a little bit there.
Can you see what we're about to go on?
It's
See,
flat.
we're right on the edge of it here. And that's where we were up there, and that's the drop off. You can drive over it, but you might want to avoid it because you don't ever know how big it really is. Just thought we'd go back around and show you from the other direction, right? So you can see this is the clear area to go up. To the left here, bit of a drop off like an embankment wall. You can see I went right there on the edge of it.
Are you looking to get some video footage?
So we just turned around and continued along, headed back the way we came from, out towards the point. It's called a camping area, but I don't know exactly what part's a camping area. You could probably turn left in there.
When you're still over home,
Have a look at the view. So we sort of come around to the point. That's where we came from over there. Up over the top of that big dune over there, middle of the picture. We're actually a little bit out of the wind here. Protected by the point over this little bay with a row of rocks here. Bloody awesome. going to use that as the thumbnail. And nobody's ever going to have taken a picture from there before. There you go. Beautiful. Now, I've got to really say, it is a little bit breezy out here, but look, there's a track here right on the point, right? So there's Craig. That's where we've come from over that way. I reckon there's a sign here that says authorised access only, so you can't go any further. So you've got this point here, but I've got to tell you, this is really well protected compared to where we've been. Where I am right now, you can actually hear me talking. I'm out in the wind, but there's not much wind. So I'm saying if we were to turn and you were to go up that track there, that is probably a bloody awesome campsite if there's one up just behind here. So I'm going to go and have a look. Yeah, it's a small camp spot. Just a nice little campsite out of the wind here. It's not massive. It's a couple of cars, whatever. There's a bit of area to put a couple of swags and tents, but it's right on the point, which seems to be out of the wind. It's really good. And on a calm day, that would be absolutely picturesque. Have a look at that. Beautiful. I mean, it's a bit messy at the moment. The way the rows of rocks, I've got to say, I see it a lot in Tassie. Is it only Tassie that the way they've got that tessellated setup, you know? I like driving on nice beaches. I just like it. Do you like it? Bit of weed around on this one though. I'm not in a hurry. And different beaches, because you get sick of the same old beach. Yes, so a couple of campsites along there. There's a lot of tracks just off the side here. You just turn in and I'm sure you find something. I wouldn't imagine there's any massive, big, flat areas where you can fit big groups. But if you get your tide right, maybe you can camp right here. Because I'd say it's rare. I mean, the water would come up, but it would be rare. It probably would come all the way up to there. So yeah, most of the time it's a pretty flat beach. So probably not a good idea. Camp here in the tidal area. Unless you're not going to get taken by a croc.
Oh yes, just found one here, mate. You hold.
Well, this would be the cleanest stretch of beach, sand, I've seen for the trip. We're just back to where we dropped off the dunes. So we came down, we turned left to just have a bit of a look-see up there. Back to where we're at. There's a sign over here. Let's go and have a look and see what this sign says. Always good to have a read of signs. Facing the other way or this way? Yeah. Blue sign, can't see what it says from here. Whatever. Doesn't matter, it's behind bushes. They need to do some maintenance, some bush maintenance in Tassie. Clean up that map of Tassie so we can read the signs. Slow just won't do. Oh, I don't think this fast will do either. No, that one won't do either. Yeah, this will be the fourth and last, I think. Should be. That was, I selected
the fourth and last, I think. Should be.
Not even to your rim. Yeah, a little bit over the bottom of your rim. Yeah, easy.
yeah, we're heading out across the land again, and it gets a bit potholey, you know, people bouncing around, spinning wheels because they didn't want to let their tyres down enough. And we're going to have to go, a bit overgrown again, so some more pin stripes, a bit more bouncing around. But I'll tell you what, this 150 with this Dobinson's gear and this spring selection handles bloody absolutely awesome. I've got no complaints really, with a lot of different vehicles and suspension over the years compared, you know, to each other on similar tracks and the same tracks. Drives great, but if ever let the tires, it's be smooth going down here. It's pretty flat. You get to some of those hilly bits, and whenever you're in those big holes, that's just holes people have dug from not letting those tyres down. But yeah, from memory, we come through a bit more of this dune work like this, a few more Ks. No, a couple of Ks or so, a few. Another hole in the track there. Yeah, we come out onto the beach again, and it'll wrap up this day. Right, coming back down. So what do you reckon that's been, Mitch, in the dunes? What, 5, 10 minutes? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes worth of dune work. Oh, you can go right here. We'll go left on the beach. You can go right down the inland track past the shacks, or just here onto the beach, which we'll see how far we can get down the beach, because there's a lot of rock and muddy. Is it mud or rock? And always looks questionable sometimes. But a bit further down here, we're going to have to get...
Near that tree near the tree.
Yeah, the water looks nice here. I mean, it is a windy day. It's offshore here, so it's a bit more protected. That'd be why it looks decent. And I reckon this is the end of our run. You can't go much further along the beach before it tells you this is the end of the line. So we won't go off here because this is where their shacks are. So I guess that's a little bit of private property just there. Fish cleaning boards, picnic tables, toilets. Pretty cool spot to have, I reckon. But not far down there. See that, guys? That's where we're staying. That's Bridport. I reckon it's a couple of Ks down the road. 7 Ks apparently on the road to get where we're going. But you can't just go along the beach. Another one of these signs, and this will wrap up our day. Authorised access only. Blah blah blah. So this is where we turn off. So we'll wrap it up. We'll pump up the tyres, and bada bing, bada boom.